The night she disappeared was the quietest night of my life. There was no argument, no warning, and no goodbye. Just silence. Her name was Maya, and she was the kind of girl who could turn ordinary moments into beautiful memories. She loved sunsets, long walks, and random conversations about the future. And somehow she loved me. My name is Arav, and before Maya came into my life, I never believed in forever.
But she changed that.
We first met in a small cafe near our college. I was sitting alone, reading a book, when suddenly someone sat across from me. I looked up and saw a girl with bright eyes and a warm smile. "You look like someone who needs a friend," she said. I smiled nervously and replied, "And you look like someone who talks to strangers." She laughed softly. That's how strangers become stories. That day we talked for hours about life, dreams, and the future. From that moment, something in my life quietly began to change. Soon, meeting Maya became my favorite part of every day. We walked through the park every evening, talking about everything and nothing at the same time. She loved simple things, watching sunsets, eating ice cream on cold nights, and imagining places we would travel someday. One day she said, "Let's travel the world together." I laughed and asked, "And how will we afford that?" She smiled and replied, "We won't. But dreaming is free." With her, even impossible dreams felt real. Slowly, she became the most important person in my life. One evening we were sitting under our favorite tree in the park. The sky was painted orange, and the cool wind was gently moving the leaves. Maya looked at me in a serious way I had never seen before. "Arav, promise me something," she said quietly. "What is it?" I asked. "Promise me you'll always keep smiling." I laughed. "That's easy." But she didn't laugh. She just looked at me and said again, "Please promise." So I promised. I didn't know then that it would become the hardest promise of my life. A few days later, everything changed. That evening we had planned to meet at our usual bench in the park. I arrived early and waited for her. 10 minutes passed. Then 30 minutes. Then an hour. Maya never came. I tried calling her phone, but it was switched off. The next morning I went to her house, hoping everything was fine. But the door was locked. The neighbors told me her family had left the city during the night. No goodbye. No explanation. No message. Just like that, Maya disappeared from my life. At first, I believed something must have happened. Maybe she lost her phone, or maybe there was some emergency. But days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Still, there was no sign of her. I searched everywhere. I asked her friends, visited places she loved, and even tried contacting distant relatives. But nobody knew where she had gone. People told me to move on, but I couldn't. How do you move on from someone who became your entire world? Every night, I opened our old chat messages and read them again and again. Sometimes I typed a message. "Why did you leave me?" But I never sent it. Somewhere in my heart, I still believed she would come back.
2 years passed like that.
One rainy evening, I was sitting in the same cafe where Maya and I had first met. The rain was falling softly outside, and the streets were almost empty. When I stepped outside, I noticed an old man sitting at the bus stop. He looked at me carefully and asked, "Are you Arav?" I was surprised. "Yes, how do you know my name?" The old man slowly took out an envelope from his coat and handed it to me. "This was meant for you," he said. My heart started beating faster. The handwriting on the envelope looked painfully familiar. With trembling hands, I opened it. It was a letter from Maya. The words blurred as tears filled my eyes. "Arav, if you are reading this, it means I couldn't tell you the truth myself. The day I didn't come to the park, I was at the hospital. The doctors told me something that changed everything. I had a serious heart disease, and they said I might not live long. I was scared, not of dying, but of seeing pain in your eyes. I knew if I told you the truth, you would never leave my side. And I didn't want the person I loved the most to watch me slowly fade away. So I made the hardest decision of my life. I left, not because I stopped loving you, but because loving you meant letting you live happily. Please don't hate me. Every night I still write messages to you, but I never press send. Because in my heart, we never really said goodbye. If there is another life, I promise I will find you again. Forever yours, Maya. My hands were shaking as I finished reading the letter. Tears were falling without control. I slowly looked at the old man and asked the question I was afraid to hear the answer to. Where is Maya now? The old man lowered his eyes and spoke softly. Maya passed away 6 months ago. In that moment, the world felt empty. For 2 years, I believed she had abandoned me, but the truth was far more painful. She left not because she didn't love me, but because she loved me too much. A year has passed since that day. Sometimes I still visit the park where we used to sit and talk about dreams. I sit on the same bench and remember the girl who changed my life. Now I understand something Maya once said. Some love stories don't really end. They simply become memories that live inside us forever. Every night before going to sleep, I open my phone and type a message. I still love you. And just like Maya once did, I never press send.